Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I am Anna and I'm a little bit spooky, and today, speaking of spooky, we are playing with the She's in Parties palette from Melt Cosmetics. I bought this the day it came out. I never do that. I was so excited. I'll explain a little more when we get into the video of why I was so excited about this palette, but I mean, obviously, look at this color story. Right up my alley. It is kind of something that I've been wanting to see from Melt for a little bit now, and so I was so tickled to get my little paws on it. This is a quick kind of tutorial slash first impression, very casual, no formal review, nothing like that, just truly just first impressions. I will have a full review in the coming days and some more tutorials probably. So yeah, if you want to see how I got this look and hear my thoughts on the She's in Parties palette from Melt Cosmetics, just go ahead and keep on watching. But before you do, please like and subscribe, comment down below. Let me know some looks you would like to see with this palette. What other Melt palettes should I get my little hands on next? I'm thinking I'm gonna get the 421. I probably gotta get the 421. And I also kind of want that millennial pink one. Okay, I just want them all. Let's get into the makeup. Okay, let's get started playing today. So excited. When the original She's in Parties stack came out, I was so in love and wanted it so bad because She's in Parties is a Bauhaus song and I love that band, and the color story obviously in the little stack was so pretty. Anyway, the stack went out of stock and like I never could get it, and they released the palette and oh my gosh, is it stunning. Do you guys remember in my Melt review, or at least when I was talking about the Gemini palette, I said the one thing I want from them would be like a palette of either blood red shades or purples? Beach, they delivered. And this palette has like some beautiful like multi-chromes going on, or duochromes in it, and just plummy shades, and there's like one shade that's kind of blood looking. Ooh, we're gonna have so much fun today. My little spooky heart is just pounding out of my chest, and I love all the song references in here. Strange Love, which is Depeche Mode, Total Immortal, which is AFI, Last Caress, Misfits, She's in Parties is obviously Bauhaus, Lost Control is Joy Division. So I'm like super excited about these little references in here. And yeah, I just wanted to play and create a really vampy look, and this is like a first impressions. I haven't put these on my eyeballs yet. I just kind of did a quick swatch on my hand just to see how they felt. Everything feels nice. So I have primed my eyes with the Milani eyeshadow primer, and I didn't put any concealer. I'm trying not to put the concealer on my lids because I've been having a lot of creasing issues these days because I have oily lids. And of course, the brows are done, and I just could have carved them out just a little bit right under there, but there's no powder on my actual lids or anything. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a fluffy brush. I think we're gonna go into Total Immortal and start running that through the transition, because I feel like that's kind of, you know, the perfect transition shade. There's a little bit of kick up in the pan, nothing terrible. I don't really care about that unless it's like insane, but it's not something that really bothers me. So we're just gonna take that straight into the transition and socket area on a fluffy brush. I can't tell you how excited I am about this color story. It's so pretty. Oh, that looks nice. That's some nice pigmentation to it. I'm gonna bring this a little pretty high. I mean, we are gonna go smoky. I mean, hello? How could I not with this palette? Okay, that performed nicely. I'm gonna let that flow up into the brow bone. I mean, not to the brow obviously, but just up into this transition area. I'll probably come back towards the end and add some more, just should I need it. Yeah, I actually ordered this palette I think the day it launched. I rarely do that, but I was really excited. I really wanted it. Then it got lost in the mail, so it was a little late getting to me. It got delivered to my neighbor's house because my mailman or mail person, depending which street they go down first, either I get the neighbor's mail or they get my mail, because we have the same street number but a different street. And our houses are almost identical on the opposite street. I mean, I live in those neighborhoods where like half the houses is like 5 floor plans, and everybody's house basically looks the same, except for like your aesthetic color choices. Like my house is like dark taupe and black on the outside. It has a very minimal yard. Like I don't do yard stuff. I don't have any decor outside or anything. It's just very simple. And the other neighbor's house is a little more homey, I guess, and you know, like everyone else's house in the neighborhood. Okay, that's just a nice little soft lavender. It reminds me of like the shade you would see in those paintings of babies where they like paint their lids like slightly this translucent kind of lavender bluey color, like to show the transparency of their lid kind of thing. That's what this reminds me of. I remember my mom used to have all these like collector's plates with like pictures of babies on them. And yeah, I just remember like always noticing that when I was a kid, was how they always looked like they had kind of a blue tinge around the eye, or kind of a lavender tinge. And this kind of reminds me of that. It's a weird thing, but it does. All right, let's go into Last Caress next, and we're gonna bring that a little bit lower into the crease. Same brush. Last Caress is basically the shade, but a little bit deeper. I think a little bit dustier looking. Yeah. It's just a little bit more of a gray in it. And I'm just gonna focus that right into the crease and let the brush blend it out and diffuse. And if I might go back and course and make that a little more blown out in just a moment. I just like to get the color on there first, kind of get initial application, then see where I want to go with it. There's a little bit of kick up in the pan. I mean, it's not like the worst I've seen, but it does have a fair amount of kick up. But I really don't care. I just know other people always mention that and ask about it, so hence I'm including it. Looking right into that socket and just blending back and forth windshield wiper motions. And then just kind of blending it up and out with circular motions. This palette does remind me of the Lolita palette from KVD Beauty a little bit, and I absolutely love the color story of that palette so much. I don't use it, or well, I didn't use it for the longest time on my channel. Well, I don't think I have used it on my channel because of, you know, I didn't want to promote the brand. That was one of my go-to just personally used palettes because I love that color story so much. And this really reminds me of it, but it has some shimmers and metallics in it. And I'm speaking about the original Lolita palette, like the smaller one. I didn't get the big one because how do we feel about KVD Beauty now? Like, are we cool with them now that she's no longer a part of the brand? Because I mean, yeah, these colors are lovely. I really like this together. This really has that kind of vampiric, like vampy feel to it. Easily to blend, you know, the blending's been pretty easy, nothing out of the ordinary. Okay, let's take a smaller brush and we'll go into Mean Street, which is the deepest like plummy shade that's a matte. Knock off a lot of the excess because I don't want to get too much of this shade in there before I'm ready. I'm just gonna kind of start out here and just pat it and see what it looks like, and start bringing that into the socket. Focusing it more on the outer portion. This is a really pre-pigmented shade, so I'm going easy with it. A lot picks up on the brush. And then kind of flick it out a little, and then come into the socket. I'm aware that I hold my brushes incredibly strange. Like, I watch the way other people hold their brushes and I'm like, God, I hold my brushes weird. Like, a lot of people hold them like this, and that's incredibly uncomfortable for me. I hold them more like that, and I get the same control, I feel like. Just the same. Yeah, that just deepened everything up really nicely. Loving these purpley tones. Let me go back to the fluffy brush, Last Caress, and just kind of soften that out a bit. I'm just doing circular motions to blend it. Everything is blending really nicely though, and pretty easily. Pigmentation looks fine. I'm not seeing any patchiness or skippiness, so that's good. I think I'm gonna take a little bit more of a concentrated brush now and go back to Mean Street and really start building that up out here. Yeah, that shade just got some payoff. Damn. Just really kind of building that shade up. Getting good and smoky with it. Then we'll get back into the previous brush, kind of clean it off a little bit and just hit around those edges. And back to the biggest brush, no additional product, and just All right, now I think I'm gonna take the shade She's in Parties, because obviously, and I'm gonna take that on the lid. I'm gonna use just a flat brush to apply it. See how it goes on dry. I'm just gonna start to pat it right here. Like, this is a very blood red metallic shade. It looks really interesting with these purple tones. Yeah, that's gorgeous. Gorgeous together. And that's applying pretty well on a dry brush. Patting. I'm gonna kind of bring it through and just let it flow with those other shades. Yeah, that did nicely. Let's see how it does with a finger. Okay, yeah, you get a little more metallic with the finger, of course. I'm just gonna use it to pop it right on the mobile part of the lid. Okay, this is like a very garnet feeling palette. You could obviously dampen the brush with this shade and get a little more payoff, I'm sure. But yeah, patting it on, it does fine. It actually looks really good. I love that shade. Love it. Alright, I'm gonna blend just around these edges here. Once again, just to make sure everything's seamless and smooth. I'm gonna go back to that brush that had Mean Streak on it and just pop a little bit more right out here. Just to blend into that She's in Parties shade. Alright, I'm gonna take just a clean, fluffy brush, blend around the crease and transition. We have a little bit of fallout just right here, and that's mostly the Mean Streak shade, and a lot of that could be user error because I sometimes forget to knock my brush off and just go right on in on myself. I don't know why I do that, but I do. But yeah, so far I'm quite pleased with everything from this palette. Or the blend and the colors. I think they're beautiful shades, very unique. There's not quite something on the market like this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop on a little bit of eyeliner, do my face, all that fun stuff, and then we'll be back for some finishing touches on the eyes and the rest of the face. See you in a minute. Okay, I just finished up complexion, all that, blush, highlight. For blush, I used the Milani Tea Rose, and then highlighter, I used Wet n Wild Written in the Stars loose highlighter. But let's go ahead and do the under eye real quick. I'm gonna get my palette out the way. My foundation palette, because I don't want to get foundation all over my eyeshadow palette. I think first I'm gonna go in with the shade Tola Moral, as we did on the upper lid, and just run that along. I'm using just, you know, short shader. I'm kind of letting that flow out. Pretty good bit, not super duper smoky, but you know, you see what I'm doing. I just put on like a little simple wing, nothing fancy there. Now I'm gonna take Last Caress and just tuck it a little tighter on the outer part. I'm just letting that kind of blend into the wing. And now we're going to take a little bit of Mean Streak on a little bit more flatter brush that can get a little bit tighter in there. I'm just going to get right up on those lashes on the outer corner and blend that into the wing. And a little bit of fallout, but I can dust it away at this point. Yeah, just letting that all flow together, just like that. Oh, that was easy. Pretty seamless. So I'm gonna clean the shadow off my little short shader, and we're gonna go into Skeleton Kiss, which is the duochromatic. It kind of looks like a soft champagne, yellowy champagne when I'm looking at it one way, but then it has a really distinct pink shift in it. So it's kind of a gold to pink, shifty, opalescent type shade. And I'm gonna put that on the inner part right here. It's patted in. Ooh, yes. That looks really pretty. And just let that kind of blend in a little bit. And put a little bit on the lower part right here. And put just a little more on the inner corner. Teensiest amount right here below the brow bone. Just to give a little bit of glow right there. And I'm going to take a little blending brush now. I'm going to dip into that. And I'm just going to put a little bit over here. Over the highlight I already have on. Just to see what it does. Ooh. Oh, that's pretty face highlight. Multi-purpose, love that. And that is the eyeshadow basically done. I'm gonna go off camera and do some lashes and touch up my brows, setting spray, all that, and I'll be right back. Okay, let's finish this look off with some lipstick. I just went ahead and kind of zhuzhed my hair, put my earrings on, setting spray, all that. I've already lined my lips using the NYX liquid, or I just want to call it liquid suede, NYX suede lip liner in Vintage. It's just kind of a nice plummy color. And for lips, I'm gonna go with Flesh 3. Yeah, Flesh 3 from Pat McGrath Labs. I feel like this color has a plumminess to it, but also has a warmth that I think will tie into the lid shade really well. Yeah, that looks nice. I like that. Flesh 3 is such a pretty shade, and I always forget to pull it out and use it. Okay, and this is the look all complete using the She's in Parties palette. Okay, quick first impression mini review. Not even. I'm gonna do like a full like in-depth review of this because I got to. But anyway, quick first impression. Everything blended beautifully. The formula is really, really good. I didn't have any patchiness. There's no creasing, thing like that. The metallics have been beautiful. I mean, I haven't used every shade in the palette, so I can't speak to all of it yet. But the shades I did use, which was Skeleton Kiss, Totally Mortal, Last Caress, and She's in Parties, Mean Streak, performed beautifully. I was very, very impressed with them. They, I think, even performed better than the Gemini palette. They've probably, most definitely have improved formulas since then. And yeah, I think this is a stunning palette. I am in love with the color story, and I really like the way it performed and the way the look came out. And of course, we will have more looks coming with this palette and a full review in the near future. But yeah, finished look. And that is all for today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and spending some time over here playing with some makeup, doing a little kind of casual first impression. Like, I didn't put any information about the palette, nothing. I wanted to sit down and play, and I'm actually getting ready to go get dinner. So that's how this video happened. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you guys in the next one. Stay spooky and stay safe. Bye now.